Hey everyone, welcome to this live. Okay, this is the pop-out dashboard. Okay, so the chat is over here. I see what's going on. I want to see if my I want to see if my thing is, if the sound is okay. I want to see if my thing is, if the sound is okay. I want to see if my thing is, if the sound is okay. I want to see if my thing is, if the sound is okay. Okay. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay, guys. All right. Okay, so hey everyone, welcome to this live sketchbook tour. I'm glad that you can make it. If you're out there in the ethers, if you're here right now, jump in the chat and just say hi and tell me where you are watching from. And so this is a Royal Talens sketchbook. Everybody uses it. It's the big one, the 8.5 by 11. And at first, I wanted to use this for collaging, but then, I don't collage every day. It'll be like I have a collage moment. So it's not daily. So I decided to just use it for everything, for my daily sketches and drawing sessions and whatever the case may be. So let's open it up and see what is inside. All right, so first sketch is, the page was blank and I literally just did this a few days ago. This is supposed to be me. This is supposed to be a self-portrait. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but it's also very funny to me. I need to try to do self-portraits more, and this was just like a little experimentation. I did this with Neocolor 2s, all Neocolor 2, and some pencil. I can see some pencil marks too as well. But this was supposed to be funny. Okay, so here was the first collage that I did. I don't remember. I started this sketchbook in 2024. I want to say maybe in August, September of 2024. I don't have a date here, but there are random dates within the book though. Okay, so this is a collage that I made. Taking a stab at it. I had made my own papers. I used some construction paper, some painted papers cut up. So this was, I think maybe my second or third collage that I've ever made in a sketchbook. Okay, so here is another random collage, and the background is acrylic paint, and I just cut up random pieces of paper and glued it. I know it's not very attractive, but I remember this day too. I just wanted to do something, and I had no ideas about sketching or what I wanted to sketch, so I just cut some papers up and glued them to the pages. Another collage. This is a little better. This one is a little better, and I like this one. It's much more improved than the other one. So yes, this is, a little town, little urban scene here. A young lady walking her dogs. I thought it was really cute. I was inspired by a collage book that I had taken out from the library. I forgot the name of it, but it's a really famous collage artist and collage book. I really forgot the name. If I remember it, I'll pin it somewhere. Okay. Here is another collage. This one is really ugly. Like, I don't like this at all. So we're going to move on. So this is the point where I decided to stop using this as a collage sketchbook and just started doing my regular sketching in here. And this was from the lake. Yeah, this is definitely last summer or spring. This is from the lake that I frequent when the weather is warm. This was actually a live I did. And you'll see, you can go to my live tab and see a master study live that I did. This was a painting, a Van Gogh painting that I recreated. I used brush pens, a lot of brush pens, and colored pencils in this one. I don't remember the name of the actual Van Gogh painting, but it is a Van Gogh master study. These are, yeah, see, this is from October, so I feel like I may have started this in like August. Just some random sketches. I was just sketching, trying to do some whimsical sketching. I could have taken this further, but I was just wanting to sketch that day, and that's all. These flowers, as you're going to see, I really enjoy sketching flowers. These were done with brush pens as well. That looks like Ecoline brush pens because their colors are very bright, vibrant. This doesn't look like Tombows. Definitely looks like Ecoline or my Faber-Castell watercolor markers. Here's a little scene, a little collage scene. I go back and forth with the collaging. I remember I got these from a book, a paper magazine, and I cut these out of that. I had the background was already down, and it just looked like an ocean or a body of water. So then I added these trees here and birds here. So I think it came out a little cute. It's a little cutesy. If you're here in the chat, if you're watching, say hi and let me know where you are watching from. Okay. Experiments. What was this? I believe this was gouache. Yeah, this is gouache. This is all gouache. I was experimenting, doing this type of abstract floral work, playing around with colors and seeing what works together. Another random just sketch. This was actually from a previous sketchbook. Sometimes I go to my other sketchbooks and look at them and redo the sketches. So I remember this. This was a night where I was bored and I didn't have anything to do. So I just decided to do this. Okay. Oh yeah, this is from, October 23rd. This was from a Domestica course that I actually didn't finish on editorial illustration. And the project was to work on a illustration, and the title of the article was going to be Love Hurts. So we were sketching out all these different scenarios of, love hurting, breakups, bad relationships, cheaters, heartbroken, all the keywords. So this is what I came up with. Oh yeah, and here's something else. Uh-oh. Why am I out of focus? Okay. Okay, so yeah, these were some of my sketches for the Love Hurts subject. It was a pretty good Domestica course. I have to go back and actually do the illustration. I have so many Domestica courses that I've purchased and not yet done the course. It's really bad. It's really shameful. I should really, between Domestica and Skillshare, I have so many things that I need to watch. Okay, rando crazy sketch that I don't even know where this is inspired from. This one, I believe, I abandoned it. I didn't finish it, but it is a landscape. Here, I can tell I may have been using watercolor and Neocolor 2s and colored pencils. But the base layers are it's definitely watercolor or a very watery wash. More collaging. I got these. I cut these out from a book, a collage book that I purchased, and they had some really great images like that in it. This wasn't actually finished, but it looks kind of cool the way that it is, so I just left it. So I was trying my hand in a little bit of junk journaling. And so you have your receipts here. I'm a Panera Bread head. I'm always going to Panera Bread or the Dollar Tree. Always. That's where you can find me. I'm hanging at the Dollar Tree. All right, this was random. Just, I remember this too. Like I was just scribbling. I was just getting some aggressions out with, and I used my Neocolor 2s and decided to activate them. Okay, so now we have this urban scene. I got this photo from Unsplash and I just recreated it. I like the way it came out. This over here is a little unclear. But for the most part, oh yeah, and I was having issue with simplifying the stairs, making it look like it was descending. But other than that, I like it. It's pretty cool. Oh, this was from a live stream with Katie Moody. And from her Patreon, and people submitted photos from like all over the world. We have one from Portugal, Finland, France, Virginia. So it was fun. Like I had a good time with this. As you can see, I followed what Katie did. So there was a lot of use of brush pens in the beginning, followed up with colored pencils and Neocolor 2s. Just random sketches of some cats there. These books, these were my library books. This was back in October, as you can see. This was like some fake flowers I had on my desk with some library books I had at the time. I believe this was another Katie Moody live stream. This is gouache and Neocolor 2 and pencils. I totally did not. This was in November. I didn't like the way these came out. I remember this being frustrated. I was just trying too hard. I was very, very tight that day. And as you can see, this is how, when you're tight and you're in your head too much, you know, then your work reflects that. Okay, yes, this was a food drawing session. I watched the replay of an Odd Orange drawing session, and we did food, and I love the spread. I love the way it came out. And that was actually the same day. I did this the same day. If you see November 7th too, this was also, but I remember watching the replay in the evening, and I was more relaxed. And I guess I liked the subject more, and I was just really into it. So it also really depends on what mood you're in, what's going on, the time of day. You know, like a lot of factors, a lot of things are dependent on whether you have a good sketching day or not. And this was a good sketch day versus this one, even though it was the same day. For this one, I was a lot more relaxed, I guess. I don't know, but it was definitely better. Okay, yeah, so that was from that. This is from that same Odd Orange drawing session. Brush pens, Tombos, and Ecolines, and Neocolor 2s. This was a good one. I like this. I have a video of me doing this because I record sometimes when I'm on drawing sessions. I record myself and post the time lapses. And I have this posted if you want to watch that one. Yeah, this was from that same session. I decided to do graphite. This was water soluble graphite that I used as like a bag lunch. We were doing food. So it's like a sandwich, a bag of chips, some soda. Yeah. Okay. This one is one of my favorite sketches in this book. I was being very loose. I was channeling Sandy Hester in this. And I was just trying to be really loose and do a landscape, and I like the way it came out. Even the red birds. I really like the way it came out. Yeah, this was another one. Actually, this was taken from, I had reference photos. I combined them. I had a reference photo of a bridge, Ferris wheel, boat, and I combined them all. And I just put them together and created this. I think it came out really good. I want to do this as a collage. Like I want to recreate this in collage. I think that would be really fun. Okay, so oil pastel and acrylic paint. I remember this. I used acrylic paint, obviously, as the base, and then oil pastel on top. I haven't fixed it, so that's why I have this page blank. So when I turn the page, you know, because it's going to get dirty because I didn't spray fixative on it. So I like the way this came out a lot. I like the colors that I use. The green really makes the orange pop. I really like it. Okay, more acrylics in here. I used acrylic paint, and then on top I sketched with Posca markers. So I made the background with acrylic paint. I brushed it on and then went on top with acrylic markers. Posca markers. These flowers were done with watercolor. Well, the Japanese watercolor that behaves like gouache, but they call it watercolor. Kirataki. Yeah. I like the way this came out. I was just fudging around. Okay, another random landscape. Gouache and Neocolor 2s. I think the sky, I use like a brush pen for the sky. This was from a Patreon, Viola Studio Patreon replay. I did that. And this is one of her references from the replay. And I always like this color, aubergine. And I think it looks amazing with green, this eggplant color with green. I think it just looks amazing in a landscape as trees. So I decided to make all the trees aubergine, throw in the green and the yellow ochre. You always need yellow ochre in everything. That is one of my favorite colors as well. But I'm really loving the aubergine tree trunks. Yeah, this was another reference from the Viola's Patreon replay. So this came out okay. I don't hate it. It's gouache and Neocolor too. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's okay. Very abstract, very scribbly. That's what I like. I'm a very scribbly artist. Okay, so, oh yeah, this was day 2. So we're rolling into December now. And in the whole month of December, I challenged myself to draw daily. This was day 2. Day 1 was actually in another book. And then I decided to use up this book, do the challenge in this book, because there was more room for 31 days in this book. So this was day 2 of just drawing anything, whether it be from imagination or from a reference. And I timed myself for 15 minutes. Sometimes I did go over, or sometimes I didn't even make it to 15 minutes. There were days where I didn't want to do anything, but I did anyway. So this was day 2. And day 3. And I went through these actually in another video, but that was some time ago. This was day 4. And this was day 5. This was from a reference that I took at the lake where I go a lot. This was day 5. And this tree was like broken, almost split in half. It was really interesting. So I thought it would be a good picture. I used Neocolor 2s for this entire sketch. All right. I guess this was the following day. No, it wasn't. Actually, that wasn't part of my challenge. I just did this randomly. But here's day 6 and day 7. Fishes, lemons. I had a reference photo for this. I think I may have saw this on Pinterest somewhere. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's just in my sketchbook. So here we go with day 8. This was one of my favorites. I really like how this came out. I like the moodiness of the blue sky, these trees. I really like this. I did a good job with this. I like it. Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back. Okay, days 9 and 10. This is day 9. This was from Unsplash. And then 10 was just random because I didn't want to keep using reference photos, like relying on reference photos every day. So I just freestyled it and just made marks. Again, not wanting to rely on reference photos, so I took some acrylic paint. I chose one color and started just painting random organic shapes. This was from one of my own reference photos from the lake. Again, there's that swan in its nest, and I snapped a really good picture of it just resting. A still life from Unsplash. Another picture. I don't think this was one from Unsplash, but this is from a reference photo, but I think I got it from another website maybe. But anyway, this was like an old abandoned barn looking type structure. I like this. I like the way this came out. This was an abandoned sketch that I was really too much in my head about. I wanted it to be looser. I wanted it to come out a little better, but I just got frustrated and left it. But then for day 15, here we are still. I hate this. I hate that I used black and Payne's gray down here. I don't know what I was thinking. I was really overwhelmed that day. I was really feeling overwhelmed, and like I wanted to take this picture and like, I don't know what I thought, but I just was really overwhelmed, and I just used the same color down here. Okay, so then I was trying to get back into my whimsy bag and do, this was gouache in the background and then colored pencils on top. Okay, another gouache sketch with colored pencils, and I added in this little bunny rabbit who looks really scared. Looking over his shoulder like, oh my God, who's coming to eat me? Like, he looks so scared. Okay, so we're getting into the Christmas season, a week before Christmas. These were reference photos from someone's Patreon. I can't, or was it from someone's Patreon? No, it wasn't. These were reference photos that I picked. Whatever. Anyway, these are the sketches. After a while, I really stopped trying to remember where I get stuff, because at the end of the day, it's all in my sketchbook. It's not like I'm trying to sell someone else's stuff. This was definitely from Unsplash. This was a street in Brooklyn I was trying to recreate, and I mean, it's okay. The car's on the sidewalk, though. If you notice, the car is on the sidewalk. Why? It would have been fine, but then here I go trying to add this car, and I just screwed it up. Oh, okay. These photos were Christmas references from someone's Patreon. I don't remember, but I remember taking it was like 3 or 4 reference photos that I combined into one. This is kind of cute. It's very expressive. This is how I like to draw. Okay. These abstract landscapes are inspired by another artist here on YouTube, and she's on Patreon. Her name is Linda Marcille. I watched one of her videos where she was doing abstract landscapes, and I got super inspired and did some of my own in my sketchbook, and this is how it turns out. There's a video up about this showing me doing these. There is. Yeah, I think there is. Okay, this one, I hate this. I was trying to do negative space and it didn't work out, so we're just going to move on. Okay, these sketches were made with acrylic paint, both of them. You know, a lot of times I get in my floral bag, so these were done with acrylic paint. Okay, so here is another urban scene that I really like how this turned out. I really like this. So we have, and I did these on separate days. This was the 25th and the 26th. This is day 25 and day 26. I did them on back to back, but they look like they, go together, which I love. Another urban scene the next day. I think I got a reference photo from Pinterest and kind of remixed it and made it my own. I love the little cat on the roof right there. And the lady, she kind of looks a little spooky. Okay, next. Okay, here we go. By this time it's the 28th of December and I'm like running out of steam. I'm running out of steam, not knowing what to draw, so I just drew things that were on my desk. Sharpie, paintbrush. I had a little Christmas tree, a little fake Christmas tree on my desk. A little painting on a little easel here. And this little plushy guy, snowman. Okay, yeah, these were Christmas reference photos that I drew. All with Neocolor 2 crayons. This was like a cat peeking out from under a Christmas tree. I thought it was super cute. More stuff on my desk. This little toy my daughter gave me. Some paintbrushes, another little fake tree, and drawing inspiration from the abstract landscape mini landscapes that I did a couple of pages ago. I was just really trying to finish the challenge at this point. Oh yeah, this was on New Year's Eve. I was cooking in my kitchen. I decided to take a picture of that and draw it. So I was making like pumpkin soup and a Haitian pumpkin soup for Haitian Independence Day, which is January 1st. So we always make the soup the day before. It's just it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a cultural thing. It's a Haitian thing. So I was making that soup, and this was the scene in my kitchen. I think it came out cute. Okay, so the challenge was over, and then I needed a break from drawing every day because I was literally drawing every day. I don't think I've ever drawn every day like that since I started my art journey. So January 8th was the next day that I drew. So I took like a week break. And then, oh yeah, that same day I did like a little art play date with my kids where I take out all these art supplies for them and we just sit and do art and talk. So we were doing collaging. So this one is what I made. Here is some random landscape that I used Neocolor 2s and gouache with. These from reference photos. From where, I don't know. I have to be honest. I don't know where these images came from. Okay, these are random as well. Just some rando flowers, oranges, lemons, still life. This is supposed to be a chair that didn't come out the way that I wanted. It was the perspective was all wrong. I'm sorry for the noise outside. The garbage truck is literally right outside my window. Sorry. Okay, so this was the sketch I created from imagination. I was looking at a previous sketch of mine that was similar, but I wanted to do it over. So I just freestyled it and did it over. And I used gouache here and colored pencils and Neocolor 2s. Here we have a collage scene here. The background is acrylic paints and I collaged. This is supposed to be like an ocean scene, a boat. There's a little mermaid. I got this collage piece and a little sparkly lighthouse there. And here's a different type of scene over here. Yeah. I will get better at my collaging. I will. All right. So this was from a Patreon session with April Monkey, aka Monkey Mentanka. We were doing interiors. And I was really rusty with interiors. And I don't hate the way these came out, but I don't love them either. I was really rusty, and this was like warming up for me. Yeah. Very funny looking sketches there. Funny looking sketches. But it's okay. All right, so this was a drawing session with Viola and Natalia from Patreon as well. We were doing flowers. And so this one is created with soft pastels. I had some soft pastels here, but also I was being very loose and expressive with the markers. I was using Tombows and a fine liner. I used fine liner here, and then I went back in and filled it in with markers. I started this one too. I started off with the fine liner and then filled in the color with markers and such. Yep, same session, same thing. I really enjoyed this session a lot. And I liked starting with a fine liner, a marker, and then going back and filling in the color. I really enjoyed that. So the session was over, but I still kept going, and I pulled out some reference photos of my own that I had flowers and I did these two right after the session, and then I stopped. Oh, this was from a Melanie Chadwick Substack session, one of her tutorials where she was doing lighthouses. I was trying to follow her, like, because a lot of the art materials that she had, I also had too. So I was trying to follow her in how she used them. And it just didn't work for me, which goes to show, like, you can't, you can't always use other people's methods. Like when I'm watching a tutorial or a replay, if I have what they're using, I'll try to follow them just to learn different processes. And I feel like this is how you learn different processes. This is how you learn to use your materials. And for me, this really didn't work out for me because I wouldn't have used the materials the way that she used them, and it just didn't feel right for me. But Melanie Chadwick is a great artist. Don't get me wrong. She is phenomenal. It just didn't work. It just didn't work out for me for that day. But I did this one, and then I decided to just use the materials the way I normally use my stuff. And see, then I walked away with a sketch that I liked. So it's always good, to watch other artists and see how they do things and what they use. But at the end of the day, your process is your own process. You know what I mean? So that is the lesson that I walked away from that session. And this is some experimenting I was doing with acrylic ink. I like acrylic ink, but I don't like its shininess. Like it can be so shiny sometimes. And that's what was throwing me off with this. So this was with just experimenting with acrylic ink, and I was using Derwent drawing pencils. I like this, but then again, I don't like it. Like, I like the concept, the idea, but I don't actually like I would have to do it over again and use different colors. I definitely like the white against the dark inks. But that's about it. So this was last week, a drawing session with Katie Moody. She has a challenge going on right now, leading up to the release of her book. And we were drawing our art supplies. So this was my spread. I just picked random art supplies that were in front of me. This was my Carandache gouache palette that I drew. It was fun. I liked it. Definitely something different. This was actually a photo of my own that I took in my kitchen of my water bottle. I had a plantain, avocado, a bottle of agave nectar, my coffee mug. And on my Substack, which you can join if you'd like, it's called Sketchbook Shenanigans. I posted this picture in my last newsletter, and I challenged myself and others who want to join to draw this picture using 3 different mediums. Draw it 3 different times using a different medium. So here I used art graph, water soluble graphite. Here I used a micron fine liners. And then here I use acrylic gouache and pencils. So yeah. And it's so cool to see how you can draw the same thing over again with different mediums, and how it just has a different look and a different vibe, that was the point of it. That was the point of that experiment for me. So I'm gonna post another one in my next newsletter, and I'm gonna post my results of this in my next newsletter. So don't forget to join. I'm on Substack. I have 2 newsletters, Sketchbook Shenanigans and Martine's Musings. Martine's Musings is kind of an extension of my podcast. That I talk about just my life, my thoughts, my musings, and things of that. It's really fun. If you want to know more about me, join Martine's Musings as well. Okay, so this was a live stream that I watched with Monkey Mintonka. She did a live stream last week, but we didn't finish. It was pretty long. It was like 2 hours. So she got tired, but I was able to draw these great little sketches in these boxes, and I followed along with her. And I like doing that. I like following along with other artists, again, to see what their process is and see if it works for me. And then sometimes you'll find that your process is very similar to other artists' processes. So, and I learned how, to use certain things in different ways that I wasn't using before. Like from this live stream, I really learned a lot about like my acrylic markers and how to draw small, because I don't draw small like this. I don't. So I am very happy that I was able to pull this off, because I'm always the go big girl, I always make big gestures. I always start drawing big, and that doesn't work all the time. So I'm trying to bring that down a little bit and, learn how to draw in smaller spaces. So this was a good time, and this was a good live stream. This was my own little sketchbook session that I had by myself. I didn't record it. I don't believe I recorded, but I was drawing little houses. I love drawing little houses. That's my thing. That is my childhood thing. I love drawing houses. So, and trying to stay in that vein of drawing in a small space, I tried it again to do it on my own, but with this one, it just kind of grew and spread out on the page, and I couldn't help myself. So then I just went all out and took up this whole page. I was like, F it. I'm just going to do the whole page. And that is all. That is it. That is the sketchbook tour, my darlings. Now let me stick this back in here. Yeah, that is the sketchbook tour. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I've never done a live sketchbook tour before, but if that is something that, is good, or you guys watch it enough, I might do it again. So I want to thank you all for watching, and those of you who watch on the replay, thank you for that. And join me on Substack, Sketchbook Shenanigans, or Martine's Musings. Follow me on there for my newsletters that I send out twice a month. Okay, it's not weekly, it's twice a month for each one. All right. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys around the internets and in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.